Probiotics. It's Henya.
And Jason.
And
Michael.
we got Dr. Gregor here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Chag Sameach.
He knows more Hebrew than I do.
He definitely does more than you, babe.
I know, it's sad.
Alright, so we have a few questions for him. I hope you don't mind.
Anytime, anything.
So kind.
Whip him out.
Alright,
You
so
sure?
he's Australian, like different
see.
humor.
No, it's okay.
Just
I
ignore.
understand.
It's the Henyamania.
The first question is, would you recommend a certain macronutrient ratio?
I would not recommend a certain macronutrient ratio. All that matters is whole plant foods. High fat, low fat, any kind of fat, as long as it's whole plant foods. The more our diet can be centered on whole plant foods, the healthier we will be.
Amen to that. What are your tips for girls who lost their period and hair on a very low fat
more calories, more calories,
diet?
more calories, more calories, more calories. I mean, you can any calorie restricted diet, you can lose your period, and it's critical to get it back because it's a significant risk factor for future bone loss, for osteoporosis.
Yes.
You need to get your hormones back, and so you need to increase your fat content, you need to increase your calorie content until your period's regular. And it could take months, but you got to start right away. Absolutely, it's critical.
And the fat is a critical component of that?
Yeah, I mean, if you had a really low calorie diet with fat, which is hard to do, but if you did, you still might not be able to normalize. So more calories and more fat, and come right back.
All right.
Girls, you heard him. What vegan birth control method would you recommend?
Vasectomy.
Hell yeah, baby! You heard me, you heard me, you heard him!
Well, get on board. Come on.
Yes,
What do you
I love
mean?
this guy.
Why should the women have to take pills?
No.
and
I don't want them to take
surgery?
any pills.
All right.
I'm not for that at all.
Okay, well, for cost, for the environmental, I mean, what's the downside?
Some people want to have kids eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What would you do then?
Okay, well, yeah, then it's probably not good. Then that's not the best solution.
Any other alternatives?
So you have kids and then you do it.
All right.
The biggest question we got is, what do you eat in a day?
Yeah.
Well, it depends, if I'm in some airport food court trying to scrounge up anything remotely healthy.
Yeah, I got you.
I love this guy.
And so look, I mean, it could be, worst comes to worst is like Taco Bell bean burritos in some horrible, in the middle of Arkansas somewhere. But I mean, I try to eat healthy. When I'm at home, when I have control over my diet, then I eat really healthy. But on the road, I mean, I do my best. I mean, you can't eat a low sodium diet. I mean, you can't eat a whole food diet. I mean, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to prepare. I got trail mix. I got kale chips. I got all sorts of stuff, dried mangoes. I mean, I'm packing my bag as full as possible. But, I'm on the road for a month at a time.
It's only
just so much I can carry.
Yeah, so thoughts on oil and salt?
Oh, well, what are you going to do? I mean, you do the best you can.
Yep.
And then, when you actually wrestle control back over your diet, then, you can eat healthy.
And if you're at home, like you do have control, like just a basic run through of your day.
Oh, I mean, so we have no salt shakers in the house, we don't have oil in the house.
No salt, no oil in the house.
We have no junk in the house. If I get hungry, I'm gonna eat that apple because that's all I got. So half of the freezer is half frozen greens, half frozen berries, and then in the fridge, there's always the purple cabbage, the sliced off shreds, always the open can of beans. To put into anything, and it's just greens and more greens.
Juicing as well?
No, blending.
Blending. What about green juice?
Greens. How about a green smoothie? Then you don't lose all that fiber. What are you doing to
I can have the smoothie.
You know what you're missing out on?
What?
You're missing out on more than just the fiber. In fact, I have a video.
Yeah.
Something like, juicing more than just fiber, because a lot of those polyphenols, those wonderful phytonutrients, are attached to the fiber, and you throw it away, you compost it, or you do something with it. Now, if you juice and then you put the pulp back in the juice, and that's fine, but it's just you're throwing it away. It's
Alright, I have to change that habit.
Right, it's a whole, but no, so smoothies, right? So whatever you do, you like carrot juice, make a carrot smoothie. I mean,
I put all the greens in there, so when you put it into a smoothie, it's like kale and this and that, and
that's
coriander and parsley.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
All right.
Smoothie it is. Get rid of the juice.
More whole plant foods, the better.
All right. So what is your opinion on metabolic damage?
What do you mean by metabolic damage?
I mean,
What do we mean?
people who have in the past restricted their calories and had restricted diets, and then they start eating normally again, and then they gain like heaps of weight, and they're like, stuff like that.
Most of that data is from non-human animal studies. So there's this concept that People who kind of yo-yo diet a lot get more visceral fat, kind of the most dangerous amount of fat. That's all rat studies, and we don't know if that actually happens in people. But, I mean, it's probably not a good idea to keep yo-yoing, but that's the nice thing. I mean, that's why, I mean, diets by definition fail because they're self-limited, right?
Yeah,
you need to choose a lifestyle. You need to choose a way to eat that you can eat the rest of your life, and then, you know, maintain a healthy weight and lower your risk of chronic disease. We have tremendous control over our health, destiny, and longevity. The vast majority of premature death and disability is preventable with a plant-based diet and other healthy lifestyle behaviors.
Done.
All right, we got some flash going on.
Food combining.
Food combining nonsense.
Yes! I knew it! I told you guys.
I'm gonna throw a couple more quick ones in. Do we lose fat while we sleep?
So eating late, you actually burn less fat.
Okay.
So it's for people who are trying to control their weight, and just eating healthy isn't doing it, which is very rare. But if not, then you know you really want to try to not eat right before you go to bed, because
yeah, going to bed early, waking up early is also good for weight loss and healthier lifestyle.
I don't know the sleep medicine literature because every time I read it, I get all depressed because I unfortunately do as I say, not as I do, get a lot of sleep.
Oh.
All right, we heard it from the doctor.
Definitely don't look like it though. So
It's the healthy diet. What are you gonna do?
I know.
I know.
All right.
In Israel, bread, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, so ideally intact grains are probably the best. So
Yeah.
even whole grain flour products are not as good as intact grains.
All right, it is what it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really
so
appreciate
much.
your time.
Yeah.
Happy to do it. Hello, everybody.
Hey, maniacs.
Check out nutritionfacts.org.
Definitely. Go check out his channel. We're going to leave the link to Dr. Gregor's channel in all of our descriptions down below.
Down below.
Go
Thanks
check
so
his
much
website.
for joining.
Thank you.
Can you say hey, maniacs?
Hey, maniacs.
Yeah, it's Henyamania.
Hey, maniacs.
Thank you. That's the enthusiasm I'm looking for. Thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, you got to go on stage. Go.
Let's do it.
Go,
Cheers.
go.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining in. Go and check out Dr. Gregor's channel, as we said before.
The links are going to be in the description down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and Jason's channel as
And to
well.
Dr. Gregor's channel.
Thanks for watching. Love you. See you in the next video. Bye.